Roll.
Mrs. Kramer?
Here.
Mrs. Lane? Here. Mrs. Rich? Here. Mrs. Gallagher?
Here.
Mr. Kraftcheck?
Here.
Mr. Parzak?
Here.
The meeting is now open. Adequate notice of the meeting was provided by posting a copy of the time and place on the municipal clerk's bulletin board and mailing a copy of same to the press and the Cape May County Herald on January 8th, 2017. Will everyone please rise to salute the flag? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. May I have a motion concerning the minutes?
Madam Mayor, since all members of council have been provided with a copy of the minutes of the work session and the meeting of November 21st, 2017, and the work session and meeting of December 5th, 2017 as amended, if there are no additions or corrections, I move we dispense with the reading of the minutes and that they be approved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Do I have any communications?
Yes, Mayor, I have 7 letters to be read into the record. I am in favor of a family bathroom. There are so many families with young children and people with disabilities, all who need assistance, from Joanne Rattay at 167 97th Street. The reason for my email is to declare my support for a family handicap bathroom in Stone Harbor. Having an accessible family handicap bathroom is necessary for those with disabilities who are living or visiting in Stone Harbor. It is such a wonderful and special town, but we need to be sure that all people feel welcome, especially those living with disabilities. Our home is at 141 97th Street. I'm married, but my maiden name is Corbett, and I'm a part of the Corbett family. Thank you for your time and effort and for valuing all people, especially those with disabilities. I'm in favor of a family bathroom will help so many families with young children and people with disabilities. Lori Corbett, 141 97th Street. I'm in favor of a wheelchair handicap accessible renovation for our public bathrooms. As a lifetime owner in Stone Harbor, 147 106th Street, I feel this amenity is needed. Thank you for your attention. Thomas Chermal. Please document at the next town meeting my desire to support the building of a family handicap bathroom in Stone Harbor. We certainly can use a bathroom to support the needs of our handicapped friends and citizens. Stone Harbor has supported changes at the beach with convenient ramps and beach walks for the handicapped and the elderly. Now it's time to build a handicap bathroom open to the public to support the needs of the handicapped. Kathleen Devlin, 9807, Unit 4. We are residents and owners at Harbor Towers and would like to vote yes on adding a handicap public family restroom to the Public Waterworks bathrooms. We have young children and sometimes struggle with the bathroom to use since they are not old enough to use the restroom on their own. Furthermore, we have friends whose adult daughter is in a wheelchair and often ends up using the men's room because there's no room in the ladies' room. You can find a family handicap restroom most every venue these days. We hope Stone Harbor will join the movement. I'm writing on behalf of the Salzberg family and would like to voice our support to install a family handicap public bathroom that is open year-round for visitors and residents. We certainly hope that this will make the town more accommodating and ease the burden for those who need assistance. I am in favor of the family handicap bathroom to be added to our Stone Harbor facilities. It is much needed. Wendy Hess, 115 3rd Avenue. That's all.
Thank you. May I have a motion accepting the communications as read and that they be made a part of the official record of this meeting?
So moved. Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? We'll now have public comment. Anyone wishing to address mayor and council may do so at this time by coming forward to the microphone and stating your name and address for the record. Yes. We have you on our agenda as doing your museum report as first order of business. If you want to wait and see if I have any public comment first.
Good afternoon. Jane McConnell, 9807 2nd Avenue. I'm here today to represent Ann and Tom Yeager, who are friends of ours.
They have a handicapped daughter. I believe she was referenced in one of the letters. Anne could not make it today, so I told her I would come and show support for a handicapped and family bathroom in the community. I think it's a wonderful, inclusive community, and it would just become more inclusive if we could do this for people who really have that need. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else wishing to address mayor and council? Seeing no one, I will close public comment, and now we will move on to next. The first item on our agenda is the museum report.
Good afternoon.
My name is Bruce Tell.
Look, you got glasses.
We all need them.
We'll try. Don't hurt yourself.
No. All right, yeah. My name is Bruce Tell. I live at 397 Corson Lane in Irma, and I'm the director curator at the Stone Harbor Museum. And you had asked for us to come and give a presentation today, so I have a little one here, which now I can read. A list of accomplishments, I guess, is what you want to know what we did, how we made out this year. So I have a list of about 15 things. Number one, we'll sponsor an annual bus trip. The Stone Harbor Museum will sponsor an annual bus trip in April. This year it's going to go to West Point. While actively interviewing interns, we had no takers this past year. They were looking to get paid, and we don't pay them. We had one each in 2015 and 2016. Both were highly successful. The 2015 intern was hired by our college because of what she had learned at our museum over the summer. I taught her about Past Perfect, a museum computer program, and she went back to school, and they hired her to use it. She was super smart. We've had many artifact donations this year, but it's been so busy I'm still processing and cataloging them all. We had a special exhibit. Our opening exhibit was Doris Zilgus exhibit that brought in many visitors and many compliments in our new location. We also were able to obtain a copy of the original deed for the 7 Mile Island from the county clerk's office, and we put that on display. And Rita and the ladies in her office were so impressed by that they hired our graphics person to make copies of documents for them also. We've had 5 successful summer lectures this past summer on Wednesday nights, and we'll continue the lecture series this year as well. Thursday, July 16th, we had 51 visitors, and then that evening hosted a Doris Zilgus family event with another 26 people. August 15th, we had 71 visitors for the day. And best, July 31st, CBS News Channel 3 came to Stone Harbor Museum to learn about the town and its history and to interview Terry Swick and Bruce Tell. The Stone Harbor Museum opened up the 5 o'clock news on that Friday. We were on 8 times that day, to be exact. At the end of the season, when our season is from June 10th, or around June 10th to September 10th, at the end of the season, we had over 1,200 visitors this year. In 2014 and 2015, we averaged about 700 plus visitors in our other building. Last year, we had only 550. We've been blessed with many volunteer docents, about 25, and we had 7 new volunteers that signed up for this next year. So we had a very successful year. The next one I'm going to skip to last. Wawa has been a huge donor for us with coffee and donuts. They've been a big help with events that we've had. And Shopa is now using our building for their monthly meetings on Saturday mornings. We also started a vintage house project a couple of years ago, and that's been an overwhelming success. When that started as a fundraiser for the museum, they were hoping for maybe 50 plaques for houses, for the antique houses. We now have over 157 certified houses, with more applications slowly coming in. Since then, Avalon and now Lower Township are now getting on board, and they're also copying this project. And also, as of November, we were honored as a 2017 top-rated award from a great nonprofits organization. We made the 2017 top-rated list. And then one other thing. On March 17th, we will be hosting the League of Historical Societies of New Jersey's spring meeting. They have 3 meetings every year, one in the south of the state, the summer one is in the middle of the state, and the fall one is in the northern end of the state. Well, we're going to do the one in March of this year. I'm putting it all together. It's going to also include Avalon History Center and the American Legion. It's going to be a tour of the whole island. And this is where I need to talk to you, because when I talked to Stacy Tracy this week, I need a bus. For after lunch, I need a bus to take us around the island for about 2.5 hours. I contacted Stacy Tracy about a bus, and she told me, excuse me for 1 second. Well, maybe she didn't tell me anything. Yeah. You would have to enter into a contractual agreement with the borough, and they would be responsible for providing insurance with the Board of Education named as an additional insured and loss payee. They should also be required to enter into a hold harmless and indemnification agreement with the board, in the Board of Education's favor. I would suggest that you require a minimum of $5 million auto liability and $1 million general liability. So Stacy's telling me that I have to come to you to get a bus. And I need it for like 2.5 hours to tour around the island.
Yeah, we can talk about that,
Yeah.
even if it's
Yeah.
the Great American Trolley Company or something to that
Well,
effect. would be-
that I went through once before, and that was,
But we can look, because I don't know why we would be with the bus.
Responsible. Why?
Yeah,
why
but
is
I
it
think
our
she's thinking
insurance?
this is an arm of the borough as opposed to you
Yeah.
being your own entity as a 501c3. So
Right.
we can talk about that. That would not include us.
okay.
But, I mean, that can be talked about.
I don't think so.
There's other options.
All righty, that's it then. Thank you so
Okay.
much.
Thank you. Anybody have any questions for the museum?
No.
No? All right, thank you, Bruce.
you.
Yes? Okay, moving on. Ordinance 1510.
Madam Mayor, I ask that ordinance 1510 be taken up on second reading.
Second?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Will the clerk read the title only of ordinance 1510 on second reading?
An ordinance amending Chapter 178, Building Construction, Article 3.
The public hearing on ordinance 1510 is open. The public hearing is closed.
Madam Mayor, I move that ordinance 1510 be passed on second reading and advanced to third and final reading.
Second?
Clerk, call the roll.
Mrs. Kramer?
No.
Mrs. Lane?
Yes.
Mrs. Rich?
Yes.
Mrs. Gallagher?
Yes.
Mr. Kraftcheck?
No.
Mr. Parzak?
Yes.
Will the clerk read the title only of ordinance 1510 on third and final reading?
An ordinance amending Chapter 178, Building Construction, Article 3.
Madam Mayor, I move that ordinance 1510 be passed on third and final reading, adopted and published according to law.
Second?
Clerk, call the roll.
Mrs. Kramer?
No.
Mrs. Lane?
Yes.
Mrs. Rich?
Yes.
Mrs. Gallagher?
Yes.
Mr. Kraftcheck?
No.
Mr. Parzak?
Yes.
Resolution 2017 S-230.
Madam Mayor and Council, I'd like to offer Resolution 2017-S-230 for adoption.
Second?
This resolution authorizes the borough to enter into a professional services contract with Triad Associates to administer our resiliency grant.
Any discussion? Clerk, call the roll.
Mrs. Kramer?
Yes.
Mrs. Lane?
Yes.
Mrs. Rich?
Yes.
Mrs. Gallagher?
Yes.
Mr. Kraftcheck?
Yes.
Mr. Parzak?
Yes.
Resolution 2017 S-231.
Yes, I'd like to offer 2017 S-231 for adoption.
Second?
This is a refund of a duplicate tax payment for the property at 123 93rd Street. The amount is $5,637.54.
Any discussion? Clerk, call the roll.
Mrs. Kramer?
Yes.
Mrs. Lane?
Yes.
Mrs. Rich?
Yes.
Mrs. Gallagher?
Yes.
Mr. Kraftcheck?
Yes.
Mr. Parzak?
Yes.
Resolution 2017 S-232.
Madam Mayor, I offer Resolution 2017 S-232 for adoption.
Second.
Is it 32?
232.
232.
This is a very similar resolution to the previous one for Mr. and Mrs. Michael Donnelly.
Any discussion? Clerk, call the roll.
Mrs. Kramer?
Yes.
Mrs. Lane?
Yes.
Mrs. Rich?
Yes.
Mrs. Gallagher?
Yes.
Mr. Kraftcheck?
Yes.
Mr. Parzak?
Yes.
Resolution 2017 S-233.
Karen, is it
Joan,
you or
which
I?
is-
It's two different ones. All right.
Yours.
On here it says you, but anyway, excuse me, Madam Mayor, I offer Resolution 2017 S-233 for adoption.
Second.
This is to approve a nonprofit support for the Marine Mammal Stranding Station and the Cape Volunteers in Medicine. As you know, they're both worthwhile entities. The Marine Mammal Stranding has saved many, many mammals over the years from our beaches. And also Cape Volunteers in Medicine comes into town and does some work in here for us.
Any discussion? Clerk, call the roll.
Mrs. Kramer?
Yes.
Mrs. Lane?
Yes.
Mrs. Rich?
Yes.
Mrs. Gallagher?
Yes.
Mr. Kraftcheck?
Yes.
Mr. Parzak?
Yes.
Resolution 2017 S-234.
Madam Mayor, I offer Resolution 2017-S-234 for adoption.
Second.
This resolution authorizes 2017 appropriations approved for transfer for the purposes of police regular salaries, gasoline general expenses, solid waste, accumulated leave, contingent operating expenses, and street lighting operating expenses.
Any discussion? Clerk, call the roll.
Mrs. Kramer?
Yes.
Mrs. Lane?
Yes.
Mrs. Rich?
Yes.
Mrs. Gallagher?
Yes.
Mr. Kraftcheck?
Yes.
Mr. Parzak?
Yes.
Resolution 2017 S-235.
Madam Mayor, I offer Resolution 2017 S-235 for adoption.
Second.
This is a dedicated by trust rider, which in essence will allow our CFO to accumulate funds on an annual basis in order, if an employee retires, to pay out their vacation time. That it isn't one lump sum hit when that person retires. We will build the fund.
Any discussion? Clerk, call the roll.
Mrs. Kramer?
Yes.
Mrs. Lane?
Yes.
Mrs. Rich?
Yes.
Mrs. Gallagher?
Yes.
Mr. Kraftcheck?
Yes.
Mr. Parzak?
Yes.
I need a motion to advertise an RFQ for the Tennis Pro.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
I do have one more resolution. It's Resolution 2017 S-236.
That's the fees resolution that was added.
What is it, 236? Madam Mayor, I offer Resolution 2017 S-236 for adoption.
Second.
This is the fee structure for all of the miscellaneous fees, newspaper vending permits, floating dock, boat trailer, business, et cetera, et cetera. You all have copies.
Any discussion? Clerk, call the roll.
Mrs. Kramer?
Yes.
Mrs. Lane?
Yes.
Mrs. Rich?
Yes.
Mrs. Gallagher?
Yes.
Mr. Kraftcheck?
Yes.
Mr. Parzak?
Yes.
We have one item of discussion on the agenda, and that is renovations to the comfort station located at the Water Tower.
Madam Mayor, I'd like to give a little information on that. I put in everybody's box, all the council people. You have 3 or 4 copies that were given to myself from the Yeager family. She did a little research on it, and I think it's very informative. But on December 13th, we were notified that the DCA confirmed that Stone Harbor was not approved for the grant. 25 scoring points were applied to the most economically distressed applicants, which is certainly not us. That's the villas and down that end of the county. So after applying for 2 years for the grant, it's been suggested that we do not apply again. We had put into the 2015 budget, Public Works had $200,000, And most of that was used for crossovers and ADA compliant, along with the $240,000 that was put in the 2016 budget. So there was no money put into the 2017 budget. So therefore, there's a balance left of $157,453.11. That's available as we speak. We had an estimate, a rough estimate from the engineers, Remington Verning, of $300,000 to put in a family bathroom and to complete this project. So that, I had spoken to Jill, and may I say your suggestion, what it was? The suggestion was that we keep the $157,000 available for crossovers, and that we put $300,000 in the 2018 budget to complete this project. Just to mention, a few reasons for the family bathroom are fathers with little girls, handicapped individuals, wheelchairs or scooters that are too large for our bathroom now. Our bathroom has not been renovated for over 20 years. Transgender, New York had a lawsuit which they had to comply with and have facilities for transgender. Along with that, parents with children, the same parents that have children that need to go into a family bathroom. And some people just aren't comfortable going into a particular bathroom. So while we're contemplating renovations, a family bathroom needs to be taken into consideration. We have had the public support, such as appearances from members of the Chamber of Commerce, numerous letters from Stone Harbor homeowners, and I do hope now that we have the full support of council to move forward with this project sooner than later. We need to put money in the 2018 capital budget, which again was suggested by our administrator of $300,000. So the funds are available and make this project come to fruition in 2018. And so the discussion is now open on the floor.
And then that's, the 157 notwithstanding is there too for crossovers?
Yes.
Okay. So we'd be adding another $100,000 into 2018 capital?
Yes.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
I have a
That's
question.
good news.
Yeah, that's great news. I have a question. Are we talking about a separate, hooked onto the north side of the present comfort station to do the family-style bathroom that would be entered from the outside?
Well, the engineer can explain.
Yes, so you can explain.
We would have to get into the design. You could do an addition, but we believe you may have enough space in the existing building to reconfigure the space to do a family
Wow.
restroom in there, yeah.
You would change the entrance to where the men's room is? That would be changed around, I believe?
What we could do is, the trend has been, you need a little less space in the men's room than you do in the women's room, so you take a little bit of space from the men's room and kind of reconfigure
Yeah.
the interior space of the building and to create that family restroom.
Okay,
We
because
can look at it.
I'm totally in support of the idea of the family,
Bathroom?
whatever you want to call them.
Right.
And I was just thinking that if there was an entrance from the outside, that you don't have to go all the way
Yep.
in, and you came from the outside of that building into a room.
On the
that
north
is-
side, right?
Yes.
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 And that was what I think I put in our email. That
I
was
didn't
our
see that
suggestion.
email, so I'm just,
That just came today.
Yeah.
But in the previous plans, it was to extend the building out somewhat, not a whole lot. I forget how many feet it was to extend it out. And that's because we also need a janitorial closet. We have to get the chemicals out of the water tower facility. It's under Homeland Security, and we need to move those chemicals and the janitorial supplies and the janitor out of there. So this would give us a I think it's called a wet wall, where we can have everything in that one building.
And still, and be able to accomplish all the goals within the square footage that exists.
Yes.
Okay.
Or maybe extend it a little. Originally, it was extended, I forget how many feet.
I remember there was originally, the square footage was going to increase, but at this point, that would not be. And we
Well,
do
we
all
don't
the
know. We don't
ADA
ho-
upgrades
don't
and
hold
things
us
as
to
Yeah,
well.
I mean, we
I
took a
think
look,
you
we have
have
to
to
get into the
extend it.
design.
Yeah,
but-
don't
Because
hold
what
us
is
to
the
that.
Okay.
minimum
You have
size
to
of one
wait
of
till
those
we
bathrooms?
Go out to design.
Family-style bathroom?
It depends, because you have ADA, all
Yeah,
kinds
but
of
it's-
ADA.
But
issues you
isn't
have
there a
to-
minimum of what they should be? Because they should be
Yeah, I don't
decent
wanna,
size.
I don't wanna,
They have to have a
oh.
scooter and a wheelchair.
Yeah.
right.
But we don't have
There's different
any-
ways you could do it, I guess, is the answer. So
What
we'd
we
have to get
need is a resolution probably at the next, well, first of all, we have to put the money in the capital budget.
Yeah, it would get presented with all the capital items. That
And
would be
then
the
after
next-
that, then we would propose to go out and get a specific design.
Sorry, what do we do tonight?
No.
Formally, anything
Just-
now,
no,
if there's
just
any?
listen.
Okay, so at this
Listen,
point, if there's
and I
anybody
would
who
like-
has anything to add, or
Right.
now's your opportunity.
I would like to make sure that everybody's on board so that we can move forward and
I'm on board.
make this come to fruition.
I think a family bathroom, and speaking from experience, is essential. It's extremely difficult when you have issues, and then if you have young children, it's difficult for the husband or the wife to go into the opposite bathroom to take care of the child. So it's long overdue.
Thank you.
I too am in support.
Thank you.
I think it's the handicap component for me is the most important. I mean, walk in their shoes for a day. I think it's really important that we make sure that they are accommodated for. And our town, it's befitting of our town to look out for our ADA compliant and the people that need access.
Absolutely.
You good, Ray?
I'm good.
All right.
I just would like, we have some questions about the design, like, you're not for it. So just, before we do the resolution, would just
I don't think we're doing a resolution.
kind of hone in, I know that. Just try to hone in your estimate, like,
Well,
so
you
it's
already
not
did-
300,000 now, but when it's done, it's 610,
Yeah.
like, try to,
Right. We got the news late last week, and we just wanted to give you a budget number for tonight for discussion.
right.
Yep, we'll refine the number.
Okay. We'll
Thank you
clo-
very much. I appreciate it.
So
I'm
we
sure all
will
the
close.
Handicap
Discussion?
will also.
And may I have a motion approving the bill list?
Madam Mayor, I ask that we move to pay all the bills, authorize the CFO to pay the bills when the funds are available and the vouchers properly endorsed.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? At this time, we're about to consider a resolution to go into private session. We would appreciate if you would all remain seated until the resolution has been acted upon. At the conclusion of the private session, we will come back into public session for the purpose of either taking action as a result of our discussion in private session or to simply adjourn. It is also possible that someone may bring up some other item of business in public session after we come back from private session. Resolution 2017 S-236.
Madam Mayor, I offer Resolution 2017 S-236 for adoption.
Second.
Clerk, call the roll.
Mrs. Kramer? Mrs. Lane?
Yes.
Mrs. Rich?
Yes.
Mrs. Gallagher? Mr. Kraftcheck?
Yes.
Mr. Parzak?
Yes.
And for the record, we will be meeting in executive session to discuss matters involving terms and conditions of an appointment and matters relating to borough employment relationships. Relevant employees have been properly notified in accordance with law.
I need a second.